Alright, Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon, Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. Now, right now, I'm gonna get into, this is another question right here someone wanted to ask me. They say, what's the deal with psychedelic drugs, specifically mushrooms, and what are the purposes? Now, when we get to psychedelics, this is what people need to understand. It's not like how anybody is teaching you. You see what I'm saying? Psychedelics is not like how anybody is teaching you. Psychedelic drugs and mushrooms carry certain chemicals in it that damage the brain. So whatever you think, like the colors and things that you're seeing, that's the brain way of explaining it's hurt. So you may have a smearing of thought patterns or a smearing of colors or a smearing of things that's going on in the head. But really, it's just your brain functioning improperly. For an example, like you can scrape your arm, right? You can scrape your arm and see the outcome of that. You can eat something that's bad for your You could drink something that's bad for your kidneys, alcohol. You see what I'm saying? Or you could eat something that's bad for your gut, your stomach, depending on what you're eating. Or you could put something on your skin that you are allergic to. And when we talk about being allergic and things of that nature, some people are allergic to fur. It's because that chemical substance doesn't resonate with something that you have, a chemical substance that you have. So it causes friction. So when we talk about psychedelic drugs, that's the same thing that happens with your brain. And so your brain carries like information of your visions and being able to solidify and be able to structure the certain visions and lights that you receive inside your body. So when you take a psychedelic drug, those chemicals is like scrape your brain, or it's like drinking alcohol to your kidney. So like the pain is differently. The brain pain is differently than the lower aspect pains on your body. But it's a form of pain. So whatever you're seeing and things of that nature is just your brain trying to physically get brain cells and shit to go to that area to repair itself. The same way if you was to scrape yourself, you see all the blood cells come together and create a scab or something to sustain itself. Same way when you drink too much and your kidneys starting hurting, the reason it's hurting is because there's a war going on and your cells is trying to fight the opposites and that you have drunk, and that fight is what's causing you to think what's pain. But pain ain't even what y'all think it really is. And here's another thing also why people get so crazy over psychedelics and things of that nature, because some people love pain, and there's a lot of information in pain. Trust me, I'll be near death every 2 weeks. So for the most part, there's a lot of information in pain. You're not even really supposed to look at pain the way you look at it. That's why you hurt and start manifesting hurt and shit like that. But for the most part, pain is here for you to learn, and there's a bunch of things you can learn within pain that you can't learn in any other realm of reality. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about brain pain, and when you take psychedelics and things like mushrooms, it puts you into a situation where you learn certain things. That's almost like when you're a baby and you're trying to learn how to walk. You got to stumble and fall and crawl first, but once you just stumble and fall and crawl so many times, you start to learn how to adjust your knees and your ankles in ways how it's supposed to be. But you wouldn't have learned that effectively without going through those stumbles and falls and those scrapes and those hurts in the first place. Or if you would have had somebody around you holding you up every time, then you would lean independent, become being a person that's in the crutch frequency vibration. So even if you do learn how to walk in life, you would play out scenarios that still being using people as a crutch. So it goes on to, if you're not stumbling and falling yourself and learning how things work yourself, you could be a person who utilizes others as a crutch, and you become a liability other than an asset in all realms of realities, not just walking. And it could be that physical though also. But for the most part, that's what psychedelics is. So when people talk about they taking DMT or some shit, or the shit that they see is a representation of brain damaging of the brain. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you scraping your brain or something like that, or you hitting your brain to get something. That's like if somebody was to knock your motherfucking ass out, or you was to get hit with something. Your ass see stars, right? Your ass see different lights and color frames and shit. That's your brain trying to repair itself the same way every other aspect of your body repairs itself. So, you know, your brain is inside your skull and shit. So smoking, when you smoke, smoke rises. So when you inhale smoke, the chemicals that's in smoke gonna rise through the nerve systems to your brain, right? So depending on what kind of substances is in that smoke, that's gonna cause what kind of aliens is in your brain at the time, and what kind of friction in war. Now, you can learn a lot through war. You can learn a lot through opposition. You can learn a lot because it's only going to play out in your life on what to do and what not to do again. And when a lot of people take a lot of psychedelics, this is the first conclusions they come to on what the fuck to do and what not to do again before we take that motherfucker. But for the most part, yeah, all these illusions and things that you see, that's just you're seeing. Cause see, your brain is connected to your vision and shit like that also, way more than these lower dense bodies that you have. So you're actually going to be, when you take DMT, you're actually going to be seeing your brain trying to repair. So you're going to be seeing colors and shit. That ain't really nothing but your blood cells and all that shit trying to come together. So those are made up of your imaginations and thoughts. So those are going to be conflicted. So you're going to see spirals, colors mingling with each other, switching, and that's these motherfuckers trying to sustain themselves. But the world that it puts you in when you're going through that brain pain is perceived like another world, but really it's just it's a damaged world. You see what I'm saying? So be careful about things like psychedelics and stuff like that, because you could be transforming parts of your brains and may not ever be able to come back to perceiving this reality, because you're too busy. Your brain gonna be too busy trying to perceive and heal itself. So what you see, whatever imagination got cross-wired from you, you can get lost into that because it's dealing with your vision, your imagination. So if that chemical involved into something that might mix and mangle your imagination in a way that your spirit don't like to be in, then it can drive you fucking crazy, because your spirit knows everything. But your physical body that your spirit created is malfunctioning now. Your brain constantly trying to heal itself, and it keep giving your physical eyeball sights, it keep giving that spectrums of spasms, and you know what I'm saying, that's going on. And this is what you're seeing. And the spasms, since it's dealing with the mind, these spasms play out as imaginations and shit like that, and hallucinations. And then your spirit is gonna be like, God damn, I don't know what world I'm in and shit like that. So it's gonna be making you feel frustrated at times, or make you feel like you need to depend on the psychedelic, or what? Well, psychedelic, those ain't even drugs that put you in situations of crutches. Those powerful drugs, but you kind of get the point, you know. So psychedelics, just know that that's your damage in the brain. The same way you smoke, you damage in the lungs. You see what I'm saying? Those chemicals damage the lungs with weed and stuff like that. Drinking, damage in the kidneys. Anything you intake is a form of damage, but it's a form of hallucination and relaxation also. But psychedelic is very powerful. I wouldn't really necessarily fuck with the psychedelic one like that, unless you just want to... Nothing in the psychedelic realm comes to reality. That's what you should know. That's what you should know. Nothing in the psychedelic realm comes into reality. So whatever you see when you high off psychedelics, is stay in that realm, because that world that's being created is a world of friction and trying to sustain itself and things of that nature. So though that's really not real. That's really the creation, and in that world, it can't even be manifested either. You know what I'm saying? So, because it weakens the mind, it weakens the manifestation, the M in you. You see what I'm saying? This is why we got the PM, AM, the IM, and things of that nature. But that's another video. But yeah, that's the metaphysics of psychedelics. It's not what you think it is. It's actually brain damage. You damaging your brain, and everything that you see is your brain trying to heal itself the same way your kidneys do, same way your heart do. When you take too much acidic things, and get heartburn and shit like that. You know, the way how that feel and play out is in the experience you go through when it's a psychedelic experience. So, you know, but like I said, there's tremendous amount of information you can learn through pain. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people say pain is love, because without the pain, you wouldn't know what pleasure is. So, you know, Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air. Ee.